All right, good afternoon, everyone. Today is Wednesday, September 7th, 2011. We're just going to go over the morning trades today from the live trading training session this morning. We'll go over the trades that we took and the trades that we didn't take. All right, there weren't that many trades overall. We ended the morning session with plus 5 ticks on the ES and plus 7 on the YM. All right. On the ES, we took just a couple of trades. This one right here, you can see we had the bubble here and it pulled back down to the BBC, but it was inside the box, so we did not take that trade. We waited for the next bubble, which came along right here. So we took the next pullback down to the BBC, which was right here. This was the high of the day at the time. Our target was above the high of the day at the time. So once we got up a little farther, like up about right here, we locked in 1 point on that trade, and it came back and took us out at 1 point. Then it went on to the profit target. All right. The market was really choppy in here. We didn't have any news events today. The beige book comes out in 2 hours. That's about the only thing we have going on today. Over here, we had another opportunity. Price pulled down here. You see we had the bubble here, and price pulled back to the BBC. We entered in here, and again, the high of the day was right here, and our target was just beyond the high of the day. So as price moved up, we locked in a little bit of profit on that. We locked in 1 tick of profit on that. And price came back down, took us out at 1 tick profit, and then it moved up to the profit target. And we haven't had anything else since then on the ES. So those were the trades on the ES. It's been a pretty dry day, but dry's okay. We were profitable on it. On the YM, we had a few more trades. We started out the day right here. This was 9:30. Now, this was not the first pullback to the BBC after the bullish cross. That was over here in the pre-market. All right, so we waited, and we got a cross here again, a bullish cross. So we traded the first pullback to the BBC right here. We traded it right up to the MA1, and we took 14 points profit out of that. All right, it did go through and keep going up to the it did go through and keep going up to the weekly trading zone, and it failed off of that, and we had a bearish cross with a pullback right here. Once that came down here and reached the MA1, we had taken our risk off the trade, and it came back up and it took us out with a risk off. At break even. I think we had at that point about 8 or 9, maybe 10 points in the trade. But anyway, we ended up with a break even on that one. The next one here, we had divergence down here. Okay, we had divergence, and I shorted a down close off of the BBC. Typically with the divergence, what I wait for is a close down below the MA1, and I should have in this case. But I thought it was a pretty safe bet with the divergence and a down close after a doji, because we had a doji right here. Let me move these arrows out of the way so you can see it. Oops. And I'll blow it up a little. You see we had this doji right here, right on the BBC. I thought after that doji we'd have a pretty good opportunity to short it off the BBC and see it go all the way down here. I only risked 7 ticks on it, and I lost 7 ticks on it. Price at that point turned around and went back up to the zone here. After it hit the zone, it pulled back down here to the BBC. From the BBC, we had nice divergence over here, bullish divergence. I took that long trade, and it went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and this was closing out the morning session. So I had moved my stop up to break even. I had only anticipated it moving up here to the MA1, so my risk and reward wasn't so great on that one. Typically on the YM, I like to have at least a 2-to-1 risk reward, meaning risk 7 for 14 or 7 for 20, something like that. In this case, I was risking 7 for 9. So I was quick with my stop, and I got a break even on that one as well. It did end up going through the MA1 a little bit here, given I think I was in at 11, so it gave 13 points profit potential on that trade, but I got a break even on it. So in the morning session, we ended with plus 7 points on the YM and plus 5 ticks on the ES. Okay, that's 7 here and 5 there.